Yo, what up, you guys? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 119. Yo, this chapter, I'm really liking Mr. 3. You know I tend to like villains more than anything else, but One Piece, that's been kind of the exception. Some of my favorite characters are actually in the main cast, which is very interesting for me. It says a lot that Oda's able to write characters like this and hold my attention the way that he has, because like I said, usually it's the villains that captivate me. But I'm really liking Mr. 3, and the reason why I'm going to start the review off with him is he's clearly interfering in the fight with Dorry and Brogy or Brogy. And the thing is I don't know if he's got a devil fruit ability too, but there's this one scene where he's twisting his hand, and it's right after he says that this Dorry fellow is a pretty stubborn bastard. He didn't say bastard. This is a Viz translation, obviously. But, that's basically what he said. He's like, he's a pretty stubborn bastard. Let me speed this along. And his whole reasoning for how he's going to capture everyone is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He's basically taken the divide and conquer approach. And the other thing that I thought that was very interesting about this is not only does he take the divide and conquer, but he's also saying that in war, when you can use the psychological advantage, you're going to win most of the time. And so he says that, and the reason why I thought that was key is we see what looks like these clones of Luffy and Nami, okay? And they're appearing before Zoro and they're appearing before Nami. And this was interesting to me because he said that the ones who were, they discovered the secret of, Sir Crocodile, right? And he says that they're going to pick them off one by one, and that's exactly what he does. And that's what I mean. He says psychologically, people automatically let their guard down around people they assume to be their friends. And so when Zoro and Nami see Nami and Luffy respectively, the two people that I feel have the strongest bonds and attachments to, and respectively. And I'm going to go ahead and just say right now, for as much shit as Nami and Zoro give each other, I think that there's a huge level of respect between the two. And I think that they have the strongest bond. It's almost like big sister and annoying little brother, or big brother and annoying little sister. I really think that that's why they work. And the thing is Zoro and Nami have had so many moments together. And one of my favorites was during the Syrup Village arc where, Nami's like, Zoro! And then she pulls him down. And then that's when she gets over the syrup trap that Usopp used. And Zoro's like, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her. And the whole time he's just thinking. Like, there's moments like that where you can tell, like, those two, they get on each other's nerves, but they work. And I thought it was very telling. And then for Nami, the person that she's closest to on that ship, at least at the moment, is Luffy. She had that beautiful Luffy help me moment in the last arc. Well, I guess 2 arcs removed now because, you guys said the Grand Line is comprised of like 5 different arcs inside of it. So when you go back to the arc with Arlong and Arlong Park, Nami and Luffy really got closer. So I thought that was very nice to kind of have that in there. Now, the other thing about this is in the beginning of the chapter, there's a lot of comedy in it. And it's that shonen comedy. And what I'm referring to is how Usopp's like, I'm going to be a brave warrior. And he's just going on. And Usopp really is starting to remind me of one of those people where he not only says he's going to do something, but he has to talk himself into it. And it takes him a long ass time to get to the point where he's going to follow through on it. And Nami took a page out of my book. At some point, I'd be like, well, you shut the fuck up and just do it. And I do that now. Like, if I'm having a conversation with you and you're talking around the point, I'm like, excuse me, can you just tell me what it is you need to say? And Nami, what she does is she's like, I just wish this bravery of yours would just kick in already. And Nami just drags him away right there. And if you look at it, Usopp, he's still trying to talk himself into it, man. You got like the little stars above his eyes. Like I like that. That's what I mean. That's that One Piece, comedy. I guess you call it the slapstick comedy. But I really enjoyed that. Just seeing that kind of incorporated into this review. It was, oh, not this review, this chapter. So I really like that. And I thought it was interesting that Dorry is so dead set on seeing this battle through that he stops Luffy from interfering by putting a mountain on top of him. And this is where I'm gonna wonder, is this a bit of a plot hole? Because I've seen Luffy with a lot of destructive force, particularly when he's using his devil fruit abilities. And I was like, why the fuck didn't he just break it? But then at the same time, I haven't seen One Piece people show that they're mountain busters yet. I can only imagine what the power scale is going to be like as the series moves forward. But I thought for sure, like if I believe it was Sanji who was completely underwater and freed Luffy, and he had enough force in his kick that he could do that down at the ocean, that Luffy could do this too. So I'm wondering, is this a plot hole? I'm gonna ignore it for now. But this is something I'm gonna keep my eye on, though. Just little small things like that. It's crazy. I was just praising Oda for this, but at the same time, watch it be just my luck. I'm gonna start keeping a folder on this shit, and then Oda's gonna start correcting it a couple chapters later. Again, this guy's got a great eye for copy editing. Now, the other thing, or the biggest thing for this chapter for me, is once again we see Luffy changing people's opinions on what it means to be a pirate, or in this case an outlaw, period. Because Vivi was already so-so, because when she saw how the Straw Hats were acting on the merry-go, which is Luffy's ship, she's like, oh, they're a pleasant bunch to be around. But in this case, she's just like, he cares about a giant warrior that he just met, and yet he's getting this worked up over it. She's like, who is this guy? And I really love that, because I watched Nami go through a similar transformation through her interactions with Luffy, and I'm seeing Luffy change the way people view him. And it's gonna allow me to backtrack now to a couple of cover stories. I keep notes on them. I review the ones that I feel like are very key for the story, at least in my opinion. I know that these things get animated, so they're all key, but you see Luffy's influence through Kobe, and then you see it through that little girl in the last chapter's cover page who was hitting some of the Navy guys on the head. That was a little girl that she had her mom, and I believe she was the one that was serving Kobe and Luffy and them when the Navy dude came in there and was looking for him. So I thought that right there, seeing Vivi, and then just that build up where you have Luffy, he inspired Kobe, and Kobe's going through this training right now for some type of event, but he's going through the training, and you got Garp laughing as Kobe is fighting with he who shall not be named. That's a Harry Potter reference, man. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Just throw that in there, because I don't like the kid. I'm not going to call him a little annoying little shit, even though I just did. I'm not going to call him that, because these are characters. These are fictional characters. They all serve a purpose. But the thing is you see Luffy's influence all over the place. And for Oda to just work that into the main story again, I absolutely love it. He might fuck around and be king of the pirates, because he's gaining a reputation and he's reaching people. Now, and again, that's the mark of a true leader right there. And I'm really wondering if Dorry and Brogy, I'm really wondering if they're going to be one of the ones who help carry Luffy's legacy going forward, because these two are fighting, and I would have to think that Luffy uses Usopp in some kind of way to get out and interfere with their fight. And if that's the case, then they're definitely going to carry his legacy forward. But I think Usopp's going to have a part in getting Luffy out from underneath that rock. And speaking of Usopp, dog, man, come on, man. Seriously, you hear Nami yelling, right? And you just continue to run forward. Like, I can't believe that shit. Like, seriously, like, you hear a woman screaming and you don't at least go check it out. And, you know, Vivi, you know, she points out, like, you know, we're probably still being hunted and they didn't see you. So that's why they didn't care about you, but they're probably after Nami. And that's all the more reason. Usopp, dog, you told me you want to be this brave warrior of the sea, but you're leaving Nami by herself. You know what I mean? Like, Sanji would have said, Nami, my love, and then he would have just went for it. You know, he heard a freaking dinosaur and thought Nami was... Well, Nami's got the temperament of a pregnant dinosaur, so I could probably see why he thought that. But the thing is, it's like Sanji would have went for it. Zoro might have got lost along the way, but he would have went for it. Luffy damn sure would have went for it. You know, Usopp, man, like, I'm really enjoying the character, but that was meant to be funny. But for me, maybe it's just my values coming out, but no way in hell I can rock with that. I don't like what I saw there, man. But that's overall pretty interesting chapter, man. My chapter question for you guys is gonna be this, okay? When Dorry and Brogy were fighting, what did you think about the fact that Brogy is asking him, you seem a little off today, are you okay? And the reason I want to ask that is, I know for myself, if I'd have been in that situation, I would have finished him off. And the reason why I wanted to ask that is, you know, co-manager at work said something that really changed my opinion, okay? Or changed my thought process on different things. He said his stepfather, or foster father, excuse me, he got adopted. His parents, I'm not going to tell the story. Basically, he got adopted by another family, okay? And this man tells him while they're running in this race, in a potato race, and he's beating everyone, he's in first place, and the kid who's keeping up with him falls over. And so he's really close to the finish line, right? He's got a few more steps or hops, and then he crosses the finish line. And his foster father stops him, and he says, you help that boy up, and then you help him cross the finish line. And he ended up losing the race. These two girls were in it, won, and he was pissed off. And he was saying, well, you know, I've learned myself, you know, what he was trying to say. You don't beat a man when he's down, no matter what. You help the man up, and then you get the victory the right way. And that really changed my thought process. You know, as I am now, I probably would have said, oh, you fucked up. And I would have gone for it. But I'm starting to come around to this now. So that's just me. Let me know what you think about that situation, guys. But that's it for this review. If you liked anything I had to say, as always, make sure you comment, rate, subscribe, and share. I'll greatly appreciate it. That's it. Thanks for watching Kryptonian Saying. Have an awesome day.